Dolphins Today is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Our newest sponsor here at Chat Sports is offering cell phone plans starting as low as $15 per month. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in today's show. But first, let's get to our breaking news. The Dolphins have made another signing. This coming the day training camp is set to begin. They have signed cornerback Tino Ellis, bringing him back to Miami. He spent last season on the Dolphins practice squad, and this is why you subscribe, because when the Dolphins make a move, we get you guys a video, even if it's a minor signing like this or a big trade like they did for Tyreek Hill a few months ago. We're going to get you guys a video. Go down and subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 26,000 subscribers. Barry Jackson was the first one to report it. He said Dolphins are bringing back cornerback Tino Ellis per source, and then later, about an hour later, the Miami Dolphins officially tweeted out the news that they have brought back Ellis. So he's an undrafted free agent out of Maryland in 2020, spent time on the Saints practice squad in 2020, and the Dolphins practice squad in 2021, did not appear in any games. Played for the Michigan Panthers in the USFL this past season, and we've seen a lot of USFL guys start to get picked up, Ellis being the latest. And because of his performance in the USFL, he garnered NFL attention. The Dolphins scoop him up the day training camp begins. Now go down and grade the signing. Type A, B, C, D, or F down in the comments section. It's the pinned comment on today's video. Go down and reply to it when you get a second. I'm going to give it a B- because, yeah, it's not a flashy signing, but it's another depth signing for this team. And he has familiarity with the team. And you bring him back. He's, apparently really well liked by everyone in the locker room. So I'm all for it. And he played well in the USFL. And I'm all for bringing those guys in because they have a lot to prove. They have a chip on their shoulder. Here is what he did for the Michigan Panthers, who apparently were the worst team in the USFL. But he was one of the bright spots on this team, as well as my boy Cole Murphy. 36 tackles, 1 interception for the Michigan Panthers. And this was the first time we've seen him on the football field in a long time, because he played 4 games just his senior season at Maryland and then spent 2020 on the Saints practice squad, did not play in any games for the Saints, spent 2021 in the Dolphins practice squad, no games for the Dolphins. So he had he went 3 years basically for the USFL without playing in a lot of games, because in 2019, his senior season at Maryland, he played in just 4 games. Here's what he did in his last full season playing football. 24 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception at the University of Maryland in 11 games played. We're going to get into more about Ellis in a second. First, I want to tell you about our friends at Mint Mobile, because they are bringing you unlimited talk and text, high-speed data, mobile hotspot, and most importantly, plans starting at $15 per month. This is a great way to save money, and your connection will be the strongest it's ever been, because it's going to switch seamlessly between 5G and 4G LTE. Whatever connection is the strongest in your area, go make the switch today. And you can make the switch from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go into a store. They're going to send you a SIM card. It's very easy to do. You don't have to change your phone. You don't have to change your phone number. That's the link to get this great deal, $15 per month. mintmobile.com/chatsports. That link is going to be in the comments and the description of this video. Now let's get into more about the Dolphins, because they have obviously made a couple of other moves in the last 24 hours. They have released wide receiver Cody Core. This was the corresponding move to bring in Mohamed Sanu. And when Sanu was initially signed, we did not know Core was released when we put out that video. Now we know Core is no longer on this football team, and he was released by the Dolphins yesterday with a non-football injury. Originally signed to the practice squad last November, did not appear in any games. He is somewhat of an NFL veteran, 51 career games played with the Bengals and the Giants, but hasn't appeared in any games since the 2019 season. Now, I don't want to speculate, but I find it interesting that the wording used here was a non-football injury. We saw Minkah Fitzpatrick yesterday, that news come out that he was hurt on vacation. And I don't know if any of y'all watch Ballers. I'm a big fan of that show, one of my favorite TV shows ever. But if you do watch that show, remember when Vernon got hurt playing paintball and he was worried he was going to get cut by the Cowboys? I don't want to speculate, but a non-football injury is somewhat interesting here. We don't know if that's the sole purpose he was cut, but that was the wording the team used in their official release. he has been released due to a non-football injury. So now let's take a look at this wide receiver depth chart without Core and with Sanu. So not everybody on this depth chart is going to make the team. They're probably going to carry 6 or 7 wide receivers. Trent Sherfield, River Craycraft, Sanu very firmly on the roster bubble, as well as Lynn Bowden Jr. Not even Preston Williams is safe. I think it's more than likely he makes the team, but it's definitely not a lock for Preston. I like the Sanu signing a little bit more now. I gave it a C yesterday. I'm probably going to have to maybe go with a B- right now because, yeah, it's a depth signing and you're going to release Core and you replace Core with Sanu. So that is an upgrade. Core really had no chance to make this team. He signed a futures contract with the team back in January. Anybody that's on a futures contract has a very slim chance of making whatever team they're on. So they replace Core with Sanu. Sanu, a veteran who has a lot of experience in the league, maybe a little bit washed up, but he's going to come in and have a chance to compete on this football team. Here are the 3 moves the Dolphins have made in the last 24 hours. They have signed wide receiver Mohamed Sanu, released wide receiver Cody Core, and they have signed Tino Ellis. And keep in mind, we saw over the weekend the Dolphins placed 2 people on the PUP list, so that opened up 2 roster spots. They have taken advantage. They have taken advantage of that, signing Sanu and signing Tino Ellis. Now go down to the comments section. Let me know what you want the Dolphins to do next. Sign J.C. Tretter. Hey, if you're going to sign USFL guys, bring my guy Jake Lucina to Miami. That'd be a lot of fun. But we're starting to see a lot of signings happen. That's why you should go down and subscribe to the channel and do it right now. Mike McDaniel had his training camp opening press conference today. Some interesting quotes came out of that. We are going to react to that on today's show. Here's what Barry Jackson is reporting. Barry was at the press conference. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said cornerback Byron Jones, who had offseason surgery, is fully expecting to get himself ready for week 1. And Jones and Elijah Campbell will be the only players not practicing at all when training camp opens on Wednesday. So that's really good news because we did see multiple players not participate at OTAs and minicamp. They were there, they just did not play. But Jones and Campbell, the only people not slated to take the field when training camp begins this afternoon. Here's what Mike McDaniel said about Tua Tagovailoa. It's deliberate intent on each player. He put in more time this offseason than he has with football. What I really want to see from him is Tua is super hard on himself, which is a good thing, but anything in excess is not a good thing either. He holds himself to a high standard. I don't want that to impede when things don't go the way he wants. I don't want that to impede the next play. He has such a natural presence on the field. Who cares if there's one misstep? Those short-term memories is what you can really work on in training camp and moving forward as the leader of our team. So some interesting stuff there from McDaniel and Tua. He also talked about Noah Igbinoghene. Obviously, this is a really big year for Noah, who has struggled thus far in his career, but with Byron Jones out to start training camp, this is a really big opportunity for Igbinoghene. Here's what McDaniel said about that. It's a tremendous opportunity. It's what the team needs to be the team we want it to be, that people recognize each other in every rep like an opportunity and use it to your advantage. More reps against Tyreek Hill hasn't hurt anybody unless they have confidence issues. You are on an island as a corner. You have to have a short memory. This opportunity is only going to help him. Mike McDaniel on Noah Igbinoghene. Now go down to the comments section. Let me know if you think Noah Igbinoghene will surprise people this season. Type S for surprise or type D for disappoint. And I'm so sorry. I know we keep pushing our training camp video further and further back, but let me promise you this. It is a great video, a 13-minute video about 5 storylines to watch at training camp, and we are going to drop that today at 4 o'clock Eastern time unless the Dolphins make another move. Then I don't know what to tell you. But right now we're going to drop that at 4 o'clock Eastern time. So be ready for that video by turning on your notifications. And the first 10 people to comment on that video get a shout-out. So when you get a notification on your phone that the training camp video has been released, go and comment on it. To get a shout-out. I'll give you a shout-out on tomorrow's show. So be sure to turn on your notifications and comment on that training camp video.